Hello, how's it going? Welcome back. I'll cut straight to the chase. This is my GS02F Komodo and there's something wrong with it. I've only owned this truck for a few months, only used it 3 or 4 times maybe. It's an awesome truck. It's a big improvement over the old GS02 Komodo, which itself was already an awesome truck. This is fantastic, really good. But last time I used it, it's developed some sort of gearbox problem, which is really weird. Now I know it's the gearbox because it's not the drive, the prop shafts or the axles, because the actual outdrives of the gearbox, when the gearbox is under any sort of tension, it doesn't work, it doesn't spin. It just makes a horrible grindy noise and has no drive whatsoever. Now I have stripped this gearbox apart 3 times, rebuilt it 3 times. I've checked for damage, and every cog, every tooth, every pin, every bearing, every shaft is in perfect working order. Perfect, with no wear whatsoever. There's no metal filings inside, there's no plastic dust. I've stripped it all the way back to the motor mount, the spur gear. The spur's in perfect condition. I've rebuilt the slipper clutch. There's no sign of it slipping at all. Yet somewhere, it's just happened recently, but previously there was no issue. Whenever it's under any sort of load, any sort of tension, it just, there's nothing at all. It's so odd, and I do not know where it's coming from. Now, I have praised Gmade in the past. I've praised them because their trucks are really great, especially for the money. I've praised them because they seem to respond really well to advice and suggestions and feedback from the community, and they've improved their trucks accordingly. I praised them because the original bomb GS02 had a bit of a gearbox fault. They fixed it and sent all the owners new gearboxes with the updated design and kept that design going forward. However, I've got to say, Gmade, you need to step up your customer service game badly. Because when I built my old GS02 Komodo, the original Komodo, well, the original Komodo double cab rather, they included the wrong part. One of the outdrives was completely the wrong part. Now I sent in an email to them at the time with photographs proving it was the wrong part, and also with proof proving that I had to buy a part from Germany at quite a lot of money. It was £30+ for a tiny little outdrive that was wrong. I've sent them in saying, look, this has come with the wrong part. I've had to buy it myself. Didn't bother replying. With this issue, I've sent an email explaining what's going on and if they could suggest anything. Didn't bother replying. Now, Gmade, that's the sort of behaviour that leads you to losing fans. Okay, if you're watching this, I would appreciate if you got back to me, because I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, I have rebuilt it again. It does seem better somehow, and it does drive, but then it's almost like it slips, but the slipper clutch slip doesn't sound like a grind. It's smoother than that. It's bizarre. And when you're driving along, the gearbox sounds smooth as butter. And like if you had a failing gearbox, even driving normally, it would sound rough. But it doesn't sound rough. It sounds perfect until it doesn't. It's so odd, so odd. Anyway, let's try it and see what's happening. I do have an inclination. I think it's something to do with the 2-speed, but the 2-speed seems to be shifting perfectly. It sounds maybe like it's jumping out of gear, but why would it be jumping out of gear? The servo is shifting fully in and fully out for high and low range. I don't see an issue. But somewhere there is one. If you've got any advice for me, I'd very much appreciate it. Anyway, let's see if it can crawl. Okay, nothing so far. But I haven't exactly been pushing it. Let's see what happens when we do some rock crawling. Come on. Nope. I'm hearing it. You hear that? A little clicking? Interesting. Yeah. Or was it just the shell rubbing that time? Was it just the shell? That's just rude. Okay. Tricky. Okay, so I have heard a few clicks and clacks, but I don't know if they were body shell or gearbox. There were certainly a few body shell, but were they all body shell? Anyway, this is a reasonable test, and by the way, the old Komodo, the GSO2, made it up here. So let's try this. There it is, that's definitely the gearbox. You hear that? What is that? I can see the back axle is rotating there and the front one isn't. Let's have a look closer. Yeah, hold on, let me input some steering. Steer against the tree, make it lock up. Oops. Hard to do this one-handed. And I'm failing. Failing. Much failing. Hold on. Right. What is that noise? Back axle's turning, front one isn't. And then it grabs again. Anybody got any ideas? Seriously. Goodness knows. It can't have been a slipper clutch there because the back axle was turning. What on earth? Still a very good rock crawler, but how can you trust it when there's something amiss? And I'm stuck on barbed wire. That's fine, we're good, we're good. Can anybody help me out with this? It's not the slipper clutch, because the back axle there was turning. It probably isn't the 2-speed jumping out of gear and being like a false neutral, because the back axle was turning. If you lost the gearbox, you'd lose both axles. It's not the prop shaft slipping, because the outdrives were not turning. But then obviously one of them was, because the back axle was turning, the front one wasn't. I just don't know. I'm completely at a loss. Completely at a loss. I'll say it again. I've rebuilt the gearbox 3 times. I can't see anything amiss. Everything is perfect. Help me out. I mean, it still crawls great, but there are certain points where it just jams up. I don't know. It's a very new truck. Gmade, if you're watching this, please help me out. I've been a big fan of Gmade for a few years. I bought the new one, even though I loved the old one. It was my favourite truck, just purely to help and support Gmade, since I was so impressed with them. I didn't need to buy a new one. I loved the old one, but I did it anyway. And the result is, the old one ran flawlessly for 2 years. This one ran for about a month and a half and has some sort of mystery gearbox problem. So, yes. I don't know. Oh, and it's not the motor. Right. You experts, you right there, you sitting watching this. If you've got anything to tell me, anything to advise, please do. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.